the basis of all independence.
Alright, this video is going to be a brief video about fever grass, also known as lemongrass, right? They call this particular kind of grass fever grass in a place like Jamaica, or in some of the Caribbean islands you'll hear it referred to as fever grass. But if you go to the I think like some other parts of the world, you'll hear it referred to as lemongrass, because it actually has like a lemon kind of smell to it when you actually break the grass open. So here's the grass right here. It's actually kind of mixed in with my what do you call this, leaf of life. But here it is right here. This is the fever grass. You guys see that there? Now I think this grows wild, because I see a lot of grass that looks just like this all over Florida, and it seems to be, you know, one of those type of grasses that the roots just kind of pick up anywhere. And so this plant actually fell down at one point, and one of the pieces just kind of picked up and started growing over here. So it's a pretty hardy kind of crop that you can see will kind of grow anywhere, as long as it has the right kind of climate. I think this is, I hear a lot of people saying that it grows wild in Jamaica and places like that. So I think it's a pretty tropical kind of grass, but it's a pretty hardy one as well. It's been cold outside lately here, and I don't really see any problems happening with the lemongrass, aka fever grass. But nevertheless, one of the things that the fever grass is actually used for is, they say you could, if you pull up a piece of fever grass, for instance, I'm going to pull up a small one for this example here. You always try to grab it from as deep down in the root as you could, because that's where they say most of the good stuff is, right? You grab it. Now, one of the things that you can do with the fever grass, they say, is you can actually put it in your mouth, and it actually serves as an antibacterial kind of mechanism here. So look, right? It actually smells good. It actually has a decent taste to it. So, kind of like the coconut oil that you put in your mouth, which is antibacterial. Fever grass, they say as well, if you chew on a little bit of fever grass every day for about, 15 minutes or so, 20 minutes, it'll actually start to take away some of the bacteria that builds up in your mouth over the course of the day or overnight while you're sleeping. So that's one of the things that the fever grass is used for. Another thing that the fever grass is used for is obviously fevers. They say that if you pull up, a few of the roots of the fever grass, and it doesn't even have to be the root, but they say if you get the closer you get to the root, the better that it is, the more effective it's actually going to be in healing you. But you take the grass out, you break the grass up, maybe like 3 or 4 stalks of grass, break it up, put it in a pot, and I think the pot would have to have somewhere between like 4 or 6 cups of water in the pot. Put the 3 pieces of grass in there broken up, and then boil it, and then just kind of let it sit for about, let it simmer after you boil it, after it reaches boiling temperature. Then let it sit for about 15 or 20 minutes. And then you start to see, start to mix up a little bit. The water will start to change color. That's when you got your lemongrass tea or your fever grass tea. And they say that's good for people who are experiencing a fever at the time. So that's another thing that is used for. But you can see how it's pretty hardy over there, and it grows pretty wild. And so I think on one of the running routes that I take, I've seen a lot of that grass there, and I was actually thinking of just picking a whole bunch of it out of the ground, because it was kind of didn't even look like it was growing in anybody's property. It looked like it was just kind of growing wild in the woods. But yeah, man, you believe it or not, there's a lot of medicinal properties in a lot of the leaves we see on a daily basis, and we don't even realize it. All this stuff around us is medicine. It's here to cure us. God is literally saying, hey, everything you need is right there. And here we are, we're all distracted, we're all on our phones, and we're all like believing the commercials and you know, all these things. We're all just kind of like all caught up in the matrix. But yeah, that's it, guys. Get yourself some lemongrass or fever grass. It's good. It's good for the teeth, right? Anyways, remember, the revolution would not be pesticides. Peace.
Land is the basis of all independence.
Aria!